Thank you, Toge, for the review code. This is a spoiler-free review of Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. All the footage will be shown during the first day of the game. When people mention cozy games, the majority of gamers think of games like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, or Cozy Grove. They're games where you can take in surrounding music, talk to wonderful characters, and not have to worry about overbearing story or an incredibly deep combat mechanics. You're allowed to sit back, relax, and enjoy the game as intended. Coffee Talk, and now its sequel, Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, absolutely falls into that category of games where you can sit down and vibe to an incredible soundtrack and wonderful characters. Turn down the lights, grab a cup of blue PT, and let's talk about Toge's newest entry, Coffee Talk 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. Hibiscus and Butterfly takes place 3 years after Coffee Talk's first episode. You're the lone barista of Coffee Talk, a coffee shop that is open from sundown to sunrise. This cozy coffee shop is set in fictional Seattle, where you serve a bevy of hot drinks to customers who come in, sit down at the counter, and talk to you about their achievements, comforts, fears, and troubles. The writing is truly where Coffee Talk shines. As a visual novel with zero combat, the writing and storytelling is going to make or break this game. Thankfully, Coffee Talk Episode 2's writing is excellent. We spoke with writer Junkie Patchy at PAX East, who stated that this was her first game, and honestly, you absolutely cannot tell. She crushed it. Coffee Talk Episode 2, like its predecessor, deals with incredibly heavy issues like race, gender, and sexuality in such a nuanced and sensitive way that your customers feel like real people with incredibly complex and deep lives. Talking to a satyr or banshee or vampire is strange, sure, but their problems are your run-of-the-mill everyday issues. They're issues that you or your circle of people have probably dealt with before, and that gives these characters such an incredible depth. Characters from the previous game make their appearance at your counter, and it's nice to see some visual upgrades in their attire. Coffee Talk's stunning pixel art is still very much a part of this game, with lovely character designs and background images, giving the coffee shop life. The sequel is clean and crisp as the first Coffee Talk, with bright colors, flashing signs, and shadows moving out on the street as they walk by your shop. And the writing is so good in this game that I have watched these characters move behind the scenes, back and forth through my window, shadows of people that I'll never meet. And I've always wondered, what's their story? Where are they going? What struggles or achievements have they faced today? It is the engaging writing from the Toge team that really allows you to question the characters that aren't the main focus of this story. Truthfully, it's something I've never experienced before when playing a game of this style. Composer Andrew Jeremy returns in Coffee Talk Episode 2 with a lovely mix of lo-fi and jazz music to really set the tone of this game. Jeremy does a fantastic job making sure that the music doesn't take you out of the conversation happening at your counter, but when things start to get a little out of hand or hairy, no pun intended, a tonal shift happens to keep in line with what's happening. Music isn't the only thing that adds to the true vibe of this game. The ambiance allows you to fully embrace everything happening in or around this shop. Whether it's rain pitter-pattering against the window, the door's jingle bell announcing a new customer is about to slink up to order a delicious beverage, or the coffee machines bleeping and blurring when brewing a warm cup of sunshine, everything in this game sounds so good. Think of it this way. You're brewing a hot cup of tea. The writing is your actual tea leaves. But the sound of the game is a drop of honey being plopped into the cup to make a perfect drink. They complement each other so well that you'll just want to keep drinking that beautiful beverage. I briefly mentioned the appearance of previous characters before I went on to praise the writing in this game. Episode 2's look does not deviate from what makes the original Coffee Talk look so great. Still delights with a pixel art style that uses limited animation to really make the characters stand out. There's a slight movement, like head nods or giggling, that keeps these characters feel alive as they're talking to you or one another. As I mentioned earlier, characters from the first game will come back into the shop with some updated attire, which gives you that sense that things have definitely changed in their lives. Some will mention that they haven't been here in the 3 years from episode 1 to episode 2, while others will briefly mention issues that they talked to you about last week. I always come back to the writing because it makes this game feel like it has life, that these characters lived real experiences during the 3-year break from episode 1 to episode 2. The new characters look great, with Rihanna being my favorite visually. You learn during the first night of being open that she's a banshee looking to become an opera singer, but when she posts her reel online, she received a bunch of negative comments and attention that made her delete her online presence, give up on her dream. There's this real mix of blues and whites that make her stand out from Officer Georgie or Lucas, both of which have their own lovely color palette. Every character stands out when they're brought on screen, either with incredible animations or a stunning look. And here's the thing, Coffee Talk will not tax your computer either. I ran this game at 1080, very stable 60 frames per second, and given its visual style, most computers should be able to run this game without any issue. And listen up, Steam Deck users, rejoice! Rejoice, as Coffee Talk Episode 2 runs just as well as the first game does on the Steam Deck at a stable 60 frames per second. There are a lot of things I didn't touch on because I want you to experience them for yourselves. New drinks, new characters, and a new mechanic of giving people things that are wonderfully implemented in this game. Held together by incredible writing that will make you want to learn more and more about these characters, Coffee Talk Episode 2 Hibiscus and Butterfly is the perfect hot cup of video game to play before bed, when lounging on the couch, or you're just looking to get lost in a wonderfully told story where you feel a real connection to the customers cozying up to your counter. Like most games here at 3 Dads on a Console, this is a game you can play with your children around. As I mentioned at the beginning of the review, there are some heavy-handed subjects that this game tackles, and coupled with a lot of reading, your kids may not even care to pay attention. But bright colors, lovely characters, and charming music may have them paying attention. With multiple endings, branching paths depending on what you choose to do or not do, I highly recommend that you check out Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. Incredible job to everyone at Toge. I can't wait to open up shop again and see what waits for me in another playthrough. If you enjoyed the review, please drop us a subscription here at 3 Dads on a Console. Thank you for checking us out and have yourselves a lovely week.